Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Humans of Developer DAO podcast. In this episode, we get a chance to talk with Rohit. Rohit, or also known as Ropats, tells us about his journey into Web3. Next, we get to learn more about why he chose to learn how to code and become a developer, and of course, the creation of Developer DAO Academy. Education is a very important part of Developer DAO, and we get to learn more about its backstory and how it was created, and of course, learn more about the awesome potential it has going forward throughout the DAO and throughout the entire ecosystem. Super excited for everyone to give this one a listen because Rohit and the entire team behind Developer DAO Academy put in tons of effort to make it possible, and I'm so excited for everyone to give it a listen. Let's jump in. Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Humans of Developer DAO podcast. Today I am joined by Rohit. Rohit, in this podcast, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love
Thank you
to
for
give,
having me.
yeah, of course. We love to pass the mic over to the guest for a way for you to introduce yourself and tell everyone here who you are.
Great. My name's Rohit. You all might know me as Ropats from my Twitter and Discord handle. Um, so I am natively, I work in a non-Web2 related firm. I manage operations for a fitness equipment firm. But last year I got into Web3, mostly into crypto, just to see what it was, maybe to try my hand at investing in it. And then through that, I realized the power of smart contracts. So I've always been like interested in development. And previously I did a bit of Python and somewhat HTML. So I just like tried my hand at smart contracts and like it just felt natural. So I like stuck with it and participated in a couple of hackathons. That's when like I came across Web3Con and I found out about Developer DAO. So that's when I joined around Feb. And yeah, that's been my journey. So ever since then, I've like stuck with the whole Web3 ecosystem, but like I've realized its values and trying to align myself to it.
That's awesome. So I guess, one of the questions I'd love to ask right away is after you before you even knew anything about Web3 and crypto and just learning about tech, what is something that, maybe you built or like, you were passionate about in Web2 that you wanted to dive in to learn more?
So what I built in Web2 was I was always interested in web development. So um, I I did build a couple of websites, although they were like static HTML and CSS stuff because I was just learning. It was the very beginning, and I also did some data science work with Python, but because like mainly I have a mechanical engineering degree, it didn't give me enough time to continue this. But now that I'm like working, I have more time at my hands with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, now like being a mechanical engineer and we're like doing so much in this space of Web3, how are you enjoying it? Especially this year since you joined in February and, it's probably been history since then of actively developing, creating projects. I'd love to ask like, how have you enjoyed the space?
Well, it's been amazing. Mainly because when I started to understand the true value of Web3, I realized like it is a chance for the entire community to restart without repeating the mistakes that happened during the Web2, the tech bubble, and around then. We have like a whole new opportunity to build stuff up from ground up, and um, like whenever I've tried my hand at investing or like when I got into crypto as well, I used to have that FOMO that, oh my God, this is already past. And like maybe I should have invested when these guys were investing. But like ever since I've started developing in this ecosystem, I've realized that all of us are early at this point, and like that really excites me. And like that's just the best thing about Web3 is that we're early, and all of us like developer DAO, yeah, the communities that are building, we have the power and the opportunity to just shape this ecosystem and also like influence the world through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I'd love to, touch on, and this is because of all the influence and work you put in this past couple months, and that is the School of Code.
Yeah.
So we had the big
So it's
launch.
actually called Developer DAO Academy now.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, would you be able
Yeah.
to elaborate on like clearly you would definitely be the perfect person to talk about it.
So we had this education team. It was just a group of us that got together to learn development together. We had pairing sessions, and we used to try to go through lessons together, help each other out, and then um, we just decided that we wanted some project to contribute to, because in this ecosystem it is difficult to get opportunities for newcomers. Like, even though there is a shortage of developers, it's still difficult for newcomers to get opportunities right off the bat, at least at that time, which is like around Feb or March. Now the opportunities and the scope for newcomers is increasing, which I'm like really happy to see. But at that time it was difficult, so we just thought that uh, we need to create a project that we can learn through, and also it would serve as a way to help others learn. And that's how we came like across this idea of it's now called Developer DAO Academy. And at that time there weren't enough resources, or the resources for learning that existed, they were still difficult for us to grasp, because there were some assumptions in learning. There was like a lot of hopping that you had to do across platforms to get doubts resolved, from one website to Discord to Stack Exchange to whatever. So like all of these experiences that this group had in learning, or rather the difficulties that they faced in learning, that's what helped define our values for this. We wanted to minimize these assumptions. We wanted to create a one-stop platform so that learners can just have a focused place to study. They also, we like shipped a Pomodoro timer so that like people don't have burnout. They're like reminded that you need to touch grass ever so often.
Yeah, the design
And
is very sleek. I'll give you that.
yeah,
Especially the Pomodoro
thank you so
technique.
much.
Just adding that and making it so that you can get it trapped in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But actually having something that like kind of like gives you a warning, that's a really great touch.
Yeah, so that's how the project came up. And our first track was an NFTs track. So basically, we've been through NFT projects before, but what we realize is that these projects do not make someone new ready for real world contribution. So these smart contracts that you see in NFT projects, they give you a feel for the NFTs, which is like really great for onboarding. But as Academy just felt that we should go one step extra and uh, provide a knowledge that makes you real world ready. So if you see the smart contract for the final smart contract for the NFT track that Academy has created, um, it is designed in such a way that you can actually use it to deploy a real world NFT contract with like minor adaptations if you want to deploy it in its current state, or like if you want to make it fancy. Of course there's some stuff to do, but like of course like we've tried to make it a basic thing but real world ready.
Mhm. So one of the things I'd love to ask is when it comes to the development process of actually creating this,
Mhm.
from the start, there's so many different tracks like you could have chosen and have like ways to create this. Why did you choose to create something for example, NFTs and being able to, how did you figure out that focus and of actually creating the curriculum, but also content that's beginner friendly or intermediate friendly?
So like we said that since we were a group of learners, most of us had very little development experience. And when we went through resources, there was some learning curve that we had to go through. And that's why we decided that any content we put out, we would like minimize assumptions and make it beginner friendly. So like what we held as a reference point was this popular term from Reddit called explain like I'm five. So that's what we've tried to use in all of our lessons. And as far as like the NFT track is concerned, we were like, so if we were like collaborating with the team from the Pixel Devs project, they already had like an NFT contract ready. So that was like a contract that was already deployed in the ecosystem. And like I said earlier, we wanted to make a contract or a lesson that gets your contribution ready. So that's why we chose to like take the NFT track out of that. And that was like a starting point, because like you have to make some choice at the beginning. But eventually, like this platform is gonna grow and become an education hub, basically, where like you can come and like learn whatever basically you want to, that's related to Web3, which is also why like we changed our name from School of Code to Academy, because Academy is like more in line with all the knowledge and information that's available in Web3. It's not just code.
No, those are some really great answers. And one thing that I can say and attest to is when you have so many different projects, and especially with this academy that just kept continuing to develop so fast, in a few months to have launched, um, it's hard to keep up with it when you're not involved in it directly. So it's
Yeah.
awesome to see you guys are still pushing forward with it and like developing something that's friendly for everyone, especially for people that are just interested to learn about Web3 and actually being able to have that ecosystem that is the whole premise of the like developer DAO in the first place. That's really cool. So you're giving a lot of great answers, and I want to turn up the heat. I want to ask a very hot topic, and this is something I think you'd be the perfect person to answer this. When it comes to developer DAO and for yourself working with a variety of people with different experiences, how has it been for you to deliver projects and to create this entire academy, working and being part of a DAO and working as a DAO operator? I'd love to ask like how that experience has been for you.
Um, so actually, like I wanted to say this even before you asked the question, is like specifically with Academy, we have like a really great team. Like so, uh, everyone who's working on this project has taken ownership of it and treated it as its own, as their own project. They've like invested countless hours into this project, and basically taken leadership at crucial points wherever it was needed, and just given good direction to this project. So it's like been really easy and a fun experience. Like no single person has been loaded with responsibility or felt pressure to be the single person delivering or anything like that. So like the academy team, like huge shout out to them, because like they have been amazing. Just like, and luckily for us, all of our values are like in line with Web3 and with each other's thoughts. So like that was a really plus. There was like cohesiveness in the team right from the beginning, and like I said, like everyone has taken up leadership in this project. So that's like really helped this project continue to grow.
That's really awesome. Yeah, no, definitely a huge shout out to everyone on the team. It's only awesome to see that everyone is so involved as the outcome and having that kind of cohesive kind of team put together. It really makes a difference of actually like a good project versus a really great project that can continue to only grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the next questions I'd love to ask is, as developer DAO, after you joined, back in February, and you've seen the DAO and what it is and like potentially projects you're interested in, what made you want to keep coming back? And
Um,
even till this day, why do you continue to be involved in the community?
so like with the DAO, it's just the, like you said, the community has been fantastic. Like when I joined the DAO, I was completely new to the development space. Like I've had like very minor experience in the past, but like it was completely washed out over the years. So VC5, voice chat 5, shout out to voice chat 5. But like that was very active, and like all the folks out there were really friendly. So when I was like finding my way around the DAO and like even trying to learn development, everyone out there was so helpful. Everyone's like busy with their own schedules, but they like take out time to interact with you, to help you out. And that was like that was the first step that made me feel like joining developer DAO was like absolutely worth it. And then I saw this opportunity where like I'm really passionate about education, so I saw this opportunity where through developer DAO there were like like-minded folks who could like come along and like just do that, create opportunities for education and development for other folks as well. And that's how all of these projects came out, and like it was supported. So I was really appreciative of that. Like this kind of support you can only find in Web3, and especially in developer DAO. Like I've seen tons of ideas put out like by different people in voice chats, and everyone's so supportive of this. They give you feedback, and like no one's trying to hold out information. So like if I would like run my idea across someone, like they would give honest feedback, good feedback on like what are the pros, cons, how it could work out. Yeah, and I made like some amazing friends who I like chat with every day. So all of these things have like made me keep contributing to developer DAO.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think as you were just saying it, I was getting flashbacks of just the types of conversations that you would have just, sporadically. And I think that the support to actually follow through with the project is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
And for yourself, that is someone is that very passionate about education, to actually give opportunity to create this entire platform, but have the entire community back it. It's really amazing to see it.
yeah.
So I was getting
And
flashbacks of that.
so like since you mentioned support, it's not just like support from individual members. The DAO itself supports you, like with like academy, with the workshops initiative as well. The design guild has supported us whenever we've like needed any design to create posters for apps, whatever. Like they are really helpful. The marketing and biz dev guild is like really supporting and trying to get this create this project to be more sustainable.
Mhm.
um there's the development guild that's trying to help you out. So yeah, like all of the teams within the DAO also like help you out if you're like serious about this project and like want to take it forth, which is really great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess now, like, kind of looking into the future, what are you excited about, especially with the DD Academy being launched and perhaps
Mhm.
your own path of, learning more about Web3 and development? Um, where I'd love to ask and pick your brain as to how you're gonna approach your next milestone.
Um, so I'll start with Academy. With Academy, we are really excited because we want to like scale this project, like I said earlier, into almost like an agnostic education platform. So people can just come here and just look up what information they want related to Web3 and be able to access it. So now that we have the MVP, we're going to focus on scaling it. So that's really very interesting. Um, we also we also have like a couple of interesting features in planning for Academy, which like I'll just wait till we like get
Yeah.
we like finalize it so that like, I can drop some alpha later. But yeah, really excited for that. And like for personal stuff, I've been like testing out various protocols, like just playing around with them for my own interest. And I feel now I'm at a comfortable position developing, and like I'm able to read docs and understand what they mean, how to use them. So I'm just like really looking forward for this year to maybe try and create some tool, at least like one tool of value for the ecosystem.
hmm That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'd love to ask when it comes to for yourself developing and creating some sort of tool, is there anything, particular you're really interested in, or are you playing out, new tech as yeah.
So I'm really interested in the social aspect of Web3 because now I see a lot of people and protocols realizing that even though we're trying to create all of this new amazing technology through Web3, we're still using the web to social media platforms.
Yeah.
And for that, we need to bridge over to the Web3 related stuff soon. So like there's a lot of development happening lately. There's some amazing protocols that have um, come up. There's Ceramic, there's Lens, they're doing
Hmm.
amazing work. So yeah, I'm like constantly thinking of where this social space might head. Like in the next year or two, I see it really growing, and that's what I've been thinking, particularly of how I can add value to these social applications. Mostly,
Yeah.
that's where my focus of thought has been.
Okay, no, that's really cool. Yes, so social Web3 is definitely a very interesting topic. I know that although there is a lot of development towards like, decentralization, like keeping identity, everything is still being, especially the social side of things, is still being
Mhm.
run through, the typical
Yeah.
Web2 lens, um, which has its pros, but there's still some negatives, right? That like, we see day to day. So it's cool to see the innovation that's taking place, but hopefully, it's a matter of more adoption and things like that to
Yeah.
actually have a bigger influence. But
So like I see the social space like it being really crucial at this point because we're always talking about the masses adopting Web3 and wondering when that might happen, how that might happen. And the social applications are something that ordinary folks, people who do not have the liberty to play around with their money, to just test out the financial side, the DeFi and the NFTs of Web3, the social space is something that they can try out. And if everything on the social space is made gasless, but we can also display the full scope of Web3s when we speak about security, privacy. If we can genuinely maintain that, like when new people sign up on this, we only take data that's really necessary and yet try to minimize the data taken. We keep it behind log bars that even the protocol that is interacting with that data cannot read it unless it needs to. Things like that would help build trust among the masses and help them bridge over, get comfortable with the space, and then bridge out or like fork out to the other use cases of it.
yeah, that's a really good point that you mentioned. I think that a lot of the Web3 focus and that at least what I've seen, um, a lot of it tends to lean towards DeFi and being able to create those solutions, which is amazing. But that also just leaves like maybe 90% of the world that doesn't have that access to capital just to play around with it. So that barrier of entry is definitely a big
Yeah.
thing. But like you said, the social aspect of being able to, create um, like a social media app on Lens and it being gasless, like that really helps to bring more people in to play around with it and realize the
Yeah.
good part of the technology. Yeah. That's a really good point you mentioned. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question that I'd love to kind of ask is as you are progressing with Developer DAO and the projects you and your team are making with DD Academy, do you have any advice for anyone that is just joining into the space of what they should be doing, looking out for, perhaps if they should be jumping right into DD Academy to learn more? If you have any advice for beginners or intermediates or even the experts in development to learn more about Web3 and Developer DAO.
Well, for I mainly have like advice for beginners and intermediate because I myself am still learning. I'm no expert. but I'd say that DD Academy was a project where basically people can learn something and then implement it. So I I literally learned all of these fancy web development stacks like Next.js, TypeScript, and all of this while developing Academy.
Nice.
So, like, even with the content writing part, we like if someone wants to write about a topic and they may not know it, we've often told them that now that time permits, of course, we want a timeline for MVP, but since like season one is so like for people who don't know, season one is a time period within developer DAO. So like now I think there's 3 more months left in season one or something like that. So basically now that we have more time on our hands, people like that are interested in creating content for Academy, we encourage them that if you don't know this, you can actually take some time to learn it and then write about it too. Same thing with development. If you don't know something, but you want to do it, you can learn it while you're developing. We have like amazing people in the team who are like always ready to help out, and even in developer DAO in general, who like try to help you out with the development process, guide you on how some things can be done. If you're like stuck, they'll actually do pairing sessions with you if they have like the time to get this problem resolved. So yeah, like don't be afraid of contributing to Academy and even other projects, I'd say. And like the other crucial thing I learned in my journey is that you don't need to know everything before you start contributing. So like when I started, I was going through free code camp. I mean, I think every developer goes through that at some point.
Yeah.
So I always felt that okay, I have to do all of these tracks from free code camp. There's like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. Like there's so many tracks, and I'm like, I'm never going to finish this because it would probably take me like a year to learn. And then there was like so many Solidity tracks. So I actually started learning Solidity before like diving into the web development side of stuff. But like even Solidity has so many things to learn. There's like amazing Solidity content out there, but there's like so much to learn now. And in in between, I was just like, there's so much to learn. Or when am I going to like get my chance to contribute? But then I through this process of like contributing to Academy and through conversations within like voice chats in developer DAO, like folks encouraging me to just like do what I like. I realized that you only need knowledge that you need to contribute to. So suppose you have to like create a basic website, maybe say with Next.js and Tailwind CSS or some tech stack like that. You just need to know the components that you need to use in that website. You don't need to know the full scope of these tools.
Yeah.
So like my advice to anyone would be like, don't be afraid of diving into this, and like don't wait till you learn everything to start contributing.
Yeah, no, those are some really good tips. And I can definitely say that I started my development life or like learning about it through Free Code Camp. But then after you finish like the HTML, CSS, you're like, wow, I spent so long learning about this. Now I still have to do JavaScript. I still have to do so much more that they have to offer.
Exactly.
But yeah, like you said, just getting started right away and contributing in any way possible of making projects has been probably the biggest way. And I want to give a huge kudos to you because Next.js, learning about React, like it's not the easiest route, especially for beginners. So it's cool to see you and like your entire team like make this in just a few months, and for you to be actually, you enjoying to make it and like you're proficient in it. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, huge like thanks to the team. Like the team has just been like supportive of everyone, and like even when someone from the team doesn't know something, they just like jump on pairing session. We jump on pairing sessions. We try to help each other out, get things done. So like that has been a real like plus. And it also helps you stay motivated. Like when you're trying to debug things on your own, it gets a little taxing and like you
Yeah.
feel burnt out. But if you're like having these fun conversations with friends while debugging, and like they are helping you out actively as well, it just makes the whole process like amazing, and you feel like you want to continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So one thing that we need to cover too is we spent the entire talk so far talking about tech, talking about Web3. I'd love to know a little bit more about yourself. What are you passionate about, and is there something that you love doing outside of work and being attached to Discord?
Um, Apart from that, I'd say like I do like enjoy going for walks and maybe swimming occasionally. And apart from that, yeah, on the weekends I just like go for drives or something. It really, all of these things just help me clear my mind, because when you're like doing a lot of tech stuff, your mind can get like cloudy at times. So just taking that breather every now and then,
Mm.
it just helps you feel good. And apart from that, I really love cooking. So like if I ever get a chance and if I get like time, I'm always like trying to make something, mostly desserts, which I end up
What's
eating
your favorite
myself.
dessert to make?
Um, well, I can think of this because I made it recently.
Mhm.
It's a traditional Indian sweet called modaks. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but basically it's like a rice flour dumpling with sweet coconut and jaggery stuffing inside it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
my mom definitely has made that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And then it comes in like in this like kind of half circle or like circular.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
another shape that people
Oh,
make it
different
in. Yeah,
shapes. Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool. No, that's awesome. It's cool to see you. Maybe, one day you'll get a chance to make it for like for um Web3 Con in person. That'd be really awesome. And
Definitely.
we have like this
Please.
awesome variety of like cooks and chefs. That'd be
I
awesome.
I keep urging people to just come to India for the food, because like it's just amazing. Like people need to have like a food trip in India.
Yeah, no, I'm hopefully gonna come visit in the next few months. I know there's a lot of amazing people within developer that I'm just eager to meet.
Yeah,
And I feel like the best thing about this is just the types of friendships you're able to make. So it's, I don't think we would have met,
totally.
but now I'm like looking forward to next time I see you. I'm gonna try this dish, this new
Yes,
dessert. But
definitely. Like, please. So like interesting you mentioned that, because just yesterday I met this other developer DAO member, actually three other developer DAO
nice.
members. And like it was so amazing. It was my first meetup, like first IRL meetup with developer DAO members and like online friends in general. The funny thing about that, I was like mentioning to some friends right now, just a while ago as well, is that Indians typically, I'm not sure how this is in the world, but Indians typically, like we are not used to interacting too much with people that we've not met in real life before. Like someone online would just be like way something like, like at least like yeah, like my family would be saying like, be careful, though, are you sure
Yeah,
like these guys are trustworthy, they are like
yeah,
online people. But like when I actually met all of them, like so I've interacted with them for months now, and like it didn't feel like that at all, like despite that culture that Indians, or like what I've seen around, it didn't feel like that. Like we immediately connected. It was super fun. We, like had a great time, and like it felt like we were friends. Despite like we've just had like online connection, and that is how like I feel with all of my developer DAO friends. Like despite just having an online connection, I feel like we've become like really good friends over time.
yeah. No, that's really cool. And even though that's such a great point, is even though you've never met in person,
Yeah,
you end up feeling like you've known each other for years.
exactly.
And then
Yeah,
you see them in person. No, but the I think I agree with you. The culture, that like kind of perspective of meeting someone in person that you've never met, I think it's like across the world, but just it's starting to get normal nowadays because we're just doing this so much more often.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool different like new change that's happening. So I'm so glad that you got to do that like meetup and meet like some new friends and hopefully more and more people in the future.
And like just one more thing, one funny thing, or like one ironic thing I feel about this ecosystem is that we're trying to create something that's trustless, that's trying to minimize people's like information, creating like privacy and security, and like yet we seem to like trust these friends we've made online, and like we are even like comfortable sharing our information with them despite like what this what this ecosystem is trying. It's like really funny but like really cool as well.
Yeah, it's so funny because everyone's like anonymous.
Yeah.
And then you meet them or like you're still like really good friends. You end up sharing so many fun topics. That's a really funny part you mentioned. Yeah. I can relate to that because I've met people that I was like who are like anonymous completely online. But in person they're just like another person like just like you and I. So it's a
Yeah.
cool thing. Yeah. But yeah, that wraps up our interview. Thank you so much for taking the time today to chat with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and being able to share the story of Developer DAO Academy, it's definitely going to keep growing, and I'm hopefully going to have you back on in season 2 and season 3 of you telling us how we started and kind of like it blew up next couple of months. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it, man.